Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Football Herd. Hope you're doing wonderfully well. So, in this video, I'll be discussing about how my team is looking at in game week 12 and what all was the learning points from game week 11. Since it was a very low scoring game week, we have lots to discuss about, and we'll be also doing some key player comparisons and also deciding the captain. And we have a couple of free transfers, so we'll also be using that. So, without dealing any further, let's get started. Speaking of the first point, that it was a complete Palmer and Jackson show. As far as the Spurs versus Chelsea game is concerned, we saw a very high scoreline of 4-1 in favor of Chelsea. However, Spurs were reduced to 9 men, and we see that important players like Romero and Udogie will be missing out since they were given red cards. And is this hat trick from Jackson reason enough to bring him in? I don't think so, because he scored a couple of goals at the fag end of it, and both were tap-ins from great crosses since there were a couple of players down. And however, in my opinion, that Cole Palmer is a very good option because since he's on pens and he has only blanked once in the last 5 game weeks. So in my opinion, Cole Palmer is a very prospective option to have in his price bracket. And he's someone who is in my watch list for sure. Now, the next point is that you should not underestimate Luton at home. It is a very big learning point that I picked it up in the last game week itself. And also in previous game weeks also we saw that they are very solid at the back when they're playing at home. Similarly, they are very much fragile when they're playing away games, right? So in my opinion, if we find a Luton home game, then we should not take that as a very easy fixture, since the likes of Salah and everyone, we saw that did not find it much easier this time round, since they were very compact at the back. So I will not be considering a Luton home fixture as a very easy fixture from the next game itself. So that's also there. Now the third point is Doku the most promising midfielder from City to have in our teams? I think yes, because since Grealish is not playing and Pep is not playing him the out wide position, and Doku is playing, and he's playing some wonderful football. His XG, his take-ons, his heat map, everything is very much positive, and he's hugging the touchline and he's making those dribbling runs, and he's just crossing it and keeping the ball in the center, and someone's tapping it out and someone is tapping it in, and it's completely Doku in my opinion. When you talk about City, the last game week, it was completely I was shell shocked, to be very honest. A 22 pointer from Doku was not on the cards, right? We were expecting the likes of Haaland, Alvarez, also Foden to chip in, but we saw that it was all Doku, right? I'm not saying that he'll continue this form, but he's someone that we should keep tabs on and probably bring in our teams, right? And the fourth point is, since we have a lot of defenders absent, and Arsenal and Palace have very good fixtures, I think it's a very good option to have defenders from Arsenal and Palace. Noticeably, the likes of Anderson, then Mitchell from Palace, then the likes of White, then Gabriel, then Saliba from Arsenal. These 5 players are very much in my radar, and I will do a comparison of White versus Anderson later on, because these are the 2 prospective players that I'll look to bring in, because they both have amazing fixtures, and from White we can expect attacking returns, from Anderson also from dead balls we can expect attacking returns. So both of them are in my watch list itself. And the last point is Wang is unstoppable, right? This lad is having in a contribution in whatever form, right? In the last 5 game week that we saw, right? So in my opinion, Wang is also someone that fits the low priced midfielder bracket, and we should keep him in our watch list. So the first player that we are comparing today is between Doku and Kudus. So we are only talking about Doku because he had an amazing game week 11. He scored 22 points, and you can see from this chart, right, the comparison chart, that Doku's chances created are a lot higher, touches in the box a lot higher. And whereas we're talking about Kudus because he's also having a very rough, wonderful run of games of late, and we can see that his touches in the box are lower than what Doku's are, but the expected goals of Doku are much lesser than what we have of Kudus, right? So overall, if you talk about bringing any one of them right away in your teams, I will probably bring Kudus right away if you do not have the likes of Jared Bowen in your side. However, after game week 14, that we can see that Doku has a very good run of games from game week 15, Villa, Luton, Palace, right? But Kudus' fixture is amazing from game week 12 itself, right? So if you do not have Jared Bowen, it's a very simple option to bring in Kudus. But if you have the likes of Jared Bowen in your team, I'll probably look to bring in Doku after game week 14. That is something that I would recommend. Next players that I'd like to compare is between Anderson and Ben White. Now I'm comparing these two players just like I mentioned previously that since both of them have amazing run of games, White's run is a lot prolonged as Anderson's is a bit short-lived because he has Liverpool and City in game week 16 and 17. So in my opinion that you can bring the likes of Gabriel or Saliba or Ben White in your side because Arsenal have a very good run of games, and you can definitely look to triple up on Arsenal assets. Not doubling up on the defenders, I would say, but definitely having one defender from Arsenal is a must. And my go-to will be Ben White because you can see that not only is he playing a very pivotal role, his number of through balls, final third passes, those are also much higher than what Anderson is. Anderson is much more of a goal threat in dead balls, right? And also since Palace are solid at the back, the clean sheet probability of Anderson and White are equal in my opinion, right? But White is much more costlier than Anderson. So if there is a fund issue in your team, you don't have that much amount of money to bring in White, then probably you can bring someone like Gabriel and take a punt, or you can go with Anderson in my opinion. In game week 11, my team scored 35 points and I got a small green arrow. My rank got pushed to 2.1 something million, right? I was at 2.5 million previously. So it was a okayish game week in my opinion since the others scored a lot less. So we got away with 35 points itself. So in my team, no one gave any return apart from Trippier, Bowen and Mitoma. All the others blanked, right? Like Gabriel, Cash, Son, Salah, Diaby, Alvarez, Haaland, everyone with a 2-pointer. But shockingly, my first defender on bench, that's Kabore, he gave 8 points, which was a bit of a shock and also a surprise since he made that assist and to which Tahith Chong scored that goal, right? So that was all about my team in game week 11. Now let's look at how my team is looking like in game week 12. Now the possible transfers that I'm looking to make this game week is one will be for sure that I'll downgrade Flecken to Strakosha since I need that extra amount of fund to bring in some other players, right? But on the contrary, I have also thought of a second option, that is I'll downgrade Flecken to Strakosha, then I'll downgrade the likes of Son to Saka, and I'll upgrade Alvarez to Watkins and take a -4 hit. I'm thinking about this move because I think Saka was not that much prolific in the last game week, but still I feel that the run of games that Arsenal have, Saka is one of the must-haves, right? And also I cannot keep Watkins away from my squad because the effective ownership of Watkins is much higher, and since we're seeing that the points of Alvarez are getting distributed amongst Doku, then Foden, then Bernardo. So I think we should not be over-reliant on the couple of players from City of Alvarez and Haaland. Since we all have Haaland, I think that doubling up on with Alvarez is not that much a good option in the long run. That's why I'm thinking about upgrading him to Watkins. even though I'll take a -4 hit, but I have not fixed those transfers or made those transfers right away. I'll just wait for the Champions League games to go through, then I'll make those transfers. So in Game Week 12, I am going with Areola at goal. He faces a Forest side at home, and the formation is same as 3-5-2. Right now I have not made any transfers, but I'll definitely make the Flecken move, right? And also thinking about taking the -4 hit and bringing in likes of Saka and Watkins in place of Son and Alvarez. So right now the back three looks like Gabriel, Trippier, Cash. Gabriel has a Burnley home fixture. It should be an easy game for Arsenal in my opinion, and they should probably keep a clean sheet. Then Trippier having a Bournemouth away game, that should also be a cakewalk. Since they were winning back-to-back games and they lost to Dortmund, I think they will be very much in their stride to prove a point and again keep a clean sheet in all probability. Then Matty Cash is flagged at 75%, but I think probably he'll play. If he doesn't, then the likes of Kabore will chip in. And in my midfield, solid 5, all of them have wonderful fixtures. Son has a Wolves away game, Salah has a Brentford home game at Anfield, Bowen has a Forest home game, Mitoma has a Sheffield home game, Diaby with a Fulham home game. All are home games apart only leaving from Son, right? And if I make that Saka move, then all my 5 midfielders will be having a home fixture. So this is a very promising game in my opinion. Touch wood. Fingers crossed. And in my striking force, I have the likes of Julian Alvarez and Haaland as of now, but that will be Watkins and Haaland. So Haaland has a Stamford Bridge game, and Watkins will be having a home fixture to Forest. Right now it's Alvarez, the Chelsea fixture. Now the captaincy is a very tricky thing in my opinion this game week, right? If we do not captain Erling Haaland, then there's a chance of effective ownership issues with a lot of them captaining Haaland and you not doing it. It might be a scene. Then you can make a differential captain of Jared Bowen, right? Then also we have Watkins. If I bring him in with a very fruitful Fulham home game, right? So in my opinion, I will be choosing from like Salah and Haaland. I have right now made a decision of making the captain Haaland itself and not going against the effective ownership. But keep tabs on my Twitter account. I'll be posting the final team before the deadline. So this is all about my team in Game Week 12. So guys, that's all about my Game Week 12 team selection video with the transfer tips and the player comparisons and everything. If you like my content, please do drop a like and share this video and drop a sub to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.